Wondering if that kitchen island will actually fit, or if that sofa will leave you enough walking room? Don't guess, plan it like an interior designer. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use standard grid paper to create a scale plan of your room, so you can test out your layout before spending any money on contractors or furniture. When I'm designing for clients, before I specify a single piece of furniture, I create a scale plan. It sounds technical, but once you see how easy this actually is to do, you can start designing your home like a professional. Now, this isn't exactly a high-tech architectural plan. However, it's a great visual guide. There's a perfect place to start. It's the quickest way to see what actually fits before you move a single heavy sofa. And it will work for any room, kitchen, bedroom, living space, bathroom, etc. I'm going to share my top tip that will save you time and allow you to test multiple layouts. I'm Alexandra from The Space Planner. I recently started this YouTube channel. Actually, to be honest, this is only my second video, by the way. But I started it because I wanted to help homeowners like you plan your renovations just like an interior designer. It can be overwhelming knowing just where to start when you're designing your home. Trust me, I know, I've done my own self-build, I've been there. My videos give you practical steps that you can actually use so you can skip the expensive mistakes and create a home that doesn't just look great, but actually works for the way you live. So measuring your room and creating a scale plan is really simple. You'll need grid paper, I'll talk about sizes in a moment, tracing paper, a pencil and eraser, that's how I work, or a pen if you prefer, a calculator, a tape measure, and ideally a laser measure for your longer walls. You can buy these quite cheaply on Amazon, but it's not essential. I'll list everything you need in the description below. So step 1. Start by drawing a rough plan of your room on blank paper. Don't worry about scale at this stage, it's just a working drawing. Mark in anything important, for example, doors and windows, pipe boxing, plumbing, light switches and sockets, etc. And especially any awkward corners, chimney breasts or alcoves that are going to affect your layout. This is what you'll write your measurements onto. Step 2. Now we're going to measure the room. I use a laser measure for the long wall-to-wall distances and a tape measure for the details. If you're using a laser, make sure it's dead flat against the wall or your numbers will be off. My golden rule: move methodically clockwise around the room and measure twice. It's worth the time to do that. It just ensures that you don't miss anything and don't make any errors with the measurements, which obviously can cost you later. Start with your overall wall lengths and then go back for the details. Corners to windows, the widths of openings, and these are important, include the architraves or the wooden trims of your doors. You need to know exactly where the wood ends, not just where the door opens. Keep the tape measure tight. And if you have to round a number, always round down. And finally, don't forget the vertical measurements. You've got ceiling height, door height, and the one most people miss is windowsill height. Missing your windowsill heights can be a layout killer because it determines if a kitchen counter, a radiator, or your sofa or furniture can actually fit under that window. If your space is currently under construction and you're looking at raw studs or block work, you cannot measure bare walls. Once plasterboard and plaster go up, you'll lose about 2.5 centimetres or an inch per wall. That means your finished room will be 5 centimetres smaller wall to wall than it looks right now. It sounds tiny, but that 5 centimetre difference is exactly how people end up with a wardrobe that misses fitting into an alcove by a fraction of a centimetre. So allow for your wall and floor finishes now, or run the risk that your furniture won't fit on installation day. Step 3. Now you've got all your measurements, clearly mark them onto your rough plan. Take your time here, this is what you're going to be working from. Step 4. Now we're going to turn these measurements into a scaled drawing on grid paper. Don't worry, there's no complex maths involved here. We're just going to use a simple shortcut that I call the the one box rule. Here in the UK, I'm using standard A4 graph paper with 5mm squares. And our rule is simple. 1 square equals 20 centimetres. If you're watching in the US, use standard 5x5 graph paper where 1 square equals 6 inches. I'll list the sizes for both in the description below. Using this rule is incredibly easy. You just take your wall measurements and divide it by 20. So if a wall is 4 metres long, which is 400 centimetres, divide that by 20 and you get 20 squares. You just draw a line that's 20 squares long. If a wall is 300 centimetres, it becomes 15 squares. If you get a fraction, just round to the nearest half square. I've chosen this specific scale because your entire room fits perfectly on a single page, but it's still large enough to easily sketch in your furniture later. If you have a massive open plan space, don't shrink your scale, just get larger grid paper or even just tape 2 sheets of paper together. Now grab your ruler and work your way round the page, transferring your measurements onto the grid using the 1 square rule. This is a point where your sketch turns into something you can actually use to plan your layout. Step 5. Now here's the secret to making this process fast. Place a sheet of tracing paper over your grid. Trace your room outline once and that grid paper becomes your master copy. You'll never have to draw the room again. Step 6. Now for the fun part, testing your design ideas. Grab a fresh sheet of tracing paper for every different layout you want to try. Let me show you how this works in practice using the pieces I've drawn here. Let's say you're shopping for a sofa, which is 180 centimetres by 90 centimetres. Using our 1 box rule, that translates to a neat rectangle of 9 squares wide by 4.5 squares deep. Say you also want to fit a dining table into this exact same space. That gives us a second rectangle on our paper that's 10 squares by 5 squares. But here's a secret that saves you from a total layout disaster. You need to allow for the right amount of clearance behind your chairs. When someone is sitting in a dining chair, they need physical space to pull the chair up and stand up. As a general rule of thumb, designers allow about 90 centimetres clearance all the way around the table. So on our grid paper, that simply means leaving about 4.5 empty squares of breathing room all the way around your table. Minimum. By drawing both pieces to scale, you can literally slide this tracing paper around your master plan and see whether it fits or not. Does the back of your sofa block the dining chairs? Are you going to have to squeeze past the table every time you want to sit down? Because everything stays in perfect scale, you get to make all your mistakes on paper for free rather than on delivery day. If this trick just saved you from a massive furniture disaster, please hit the like button. And since I'm brand new to YouTube, leave a comment below letting me know what renovation topics or design dilemmas that you'd like me to tackle in my future videos. Now, if you want help with these specific numbers, like exactly how much space to leave between your new sofa and the coffee table or around that dining set, I've put together a free room planning starter kit with typical furniture sizes and spacing guidelines, so you can start testing your layouts properly. I'll leave a link below, or you can go to thespaceplanner.studio/layout. So you now have a clear scaled floor plan that you can actually work with. This is exactly how I start every single project. Once you've done this, you're no longer guessing. You can plan your room layouts with confidence. But if you're ready to take your interior design skills to the next level, I've got you covered. In my next video, I'll show you how to take these exact same measurements that we took today and build your plan using free professional 3D software, so you can see your room come to life. I'll see you there.